folks, this is Zeke with Muddy River Fishing Buddies, and today I want to make a video on I need to make some more dragon weights, and I'll show you how to make a planer board relatively cheap, and the dragon weights are really cheap also, and they've been working great for me. I'm going to tell you this, as far as dragon for catfish is something that was been new to me. I'd never heard of that people trolled or drug baits for catfish. I always either fished off the bank or when I was in a boat, you know, an anchor fish. A couple different times in the same week from different people, I heard people talk about dragon baits for catfish, and basically the rig that they used was a Carolina rig with it's actually a Santee Cooper rig now, but it's a Carolina rig, and you put an inline float about 4 or 5 inches above your hook, and what they told me to start with, or what I had heard to start with, and both the ones that had done it, they'd put a 1 ounce bullet weight, you know, above the swivel on that Carolina rig with about a, you know, 2 foot long leader. I do it a little bit different now. I do use a sinker slide to put above my swivel, and that way that I can hook a dragon weight to it like this right here, relatively easy to that clip. Or if I want to anchor fish, I can clip the other kind of weights on that I'm about out of. So I've got to buy something. It's got the little hook on it, little clip on it, so you can clip that right to it, and you can change it easy without having to cut your line. That's why I like that. But first time I went dragging for catfish, had a little flat bottom boat with me and a buddy, and Skeeter was with us, and didn't know anything about it. Just had 2 rods out the back, 2 off the side. About a 10-pound catfish hit, and I was used to yanking, you know, doing the old Texas yank when you get a bite, you jerk it. Well, I did. It broke the rod off right above my hand, slid down in the water. I saw it slide down the line. I figured it broke the line and everything. I turned around and looked at them, and I said, "Did y'all see that?" He's like, "Yeah." So I was going to reel the line up. Well, the fish was on it. My rod came back up out of the water. We're just trolling in that flat bottom boat with just a small trolling motor, and that fish tightened up. My buddy grabbed the rod, was trying to hold it. I was trying to reel it, was going in a circle. Skeeter was laying on the flat out on the front of the boat. We didn't know where we was going, but got him in. That was my first experience with dragging for catfish. Now, I mean, about everybody does it now, I guess. If you watch YouTube, you can see, you know, people doing it. I watch Catfish Dave. He drags. Dieter Melhorn drags baits. Hagen Grubbs, I like to watch him. He drags baits. And so basically, you need a good dragon weight, or you'll get hung up, and planer boards. And today, that's what I want to show you. I've made some dragon weights, and I'm going to make some more. They're relatively cheap the way I do it, so I wanted to share that with you guys. First of all, you need a piece of heat shrink tubing. This one's, I ordered them on Amazon. It came in a pack, I think about 20 of them. It's 3/8 by 12 inches long. And I'm going to show a different way. What I do is I use a couple of these 3/4 ounce bullet weights. They'll slide up in it. And put 2 up in there. Then this is a 1 ounce one. I had some 2 ounce ones that I've made too. You slide that up in the end. It won't go all the way, but you can see that it goes that far. Take a little lighter on this heat shrink, and you light it. You just heat up that heat shrink tube, and it'll melt and shrink up and conform to that bullet or that weight on the end. And I get it on up around where that head is really good. And there it is. And then you can't pull that thing out. So now I've got the 2 bullet weights up in there. I've got this regular riverbank weight on the bottom. It's holding it in. On the other end, I take a 2/0 swivel. It's just like that right there. It's just, you know, got loops on both ends. It's laying in there like that. You want it sticking out. And then again, you just heat that tube on the end. Kind of roll it. Once it closes at the front, you start working back a little bit. There you have it. The thing's hot, so don't touch it. Let it cool down. It'll stay in there. The thing I like about these is when that's in the water, there's still air in this because this seals, it's watertight, and this seals, it's watertight. That's what those are for, to put wire in it and heat shrink it up before you can put an underground wire splice. It's basically what it's for. So it's watertight. So the air in it is going to cause this thing to want to set up like that in the water anyway. So if you've got your line hooked to it, and you can hook it on your sinker slide, you get one that's already set up. Hook it on the sinker slide like that, and then it's on your line. And you got your leader coming out the bottom. This is on the bottom. Your leader's with the float on it. It's going to float up in the water, so it's dragging across the bottom like that. That's all it is to it. I mean, it's not very expensive at all, and you can buy these. They're a whole lot more expensive to buy than they are to make. This one is the one with the 2-ounce weight on the back, and I've got bullet weights inside. This one's a 1-ounce weight with two bullet weights in this one. I only have one in this big one, so that'll hold it down. All right, this is a planer board. This is for the right side of the boat. This is just a pool noodle. I got a piece of plastic, just like, I doubt it's an 1/8 of an inch thick, but it's more than a 1/16. But I got it at Lowe's. They have them in there that are, they're 10 by 8 pieces of plastic. I think it was like $5. I cut the thing in half, so now it's 10 by 4. I come down about maybe an inch from the top, and I put the noodle on it, and that's gonna make it float. I got a 1/4 inch bolt. It's just threaded on the end, about an inch of it up. It's threaded. And I cut the head off of it, and I took 2 hammers and I flattened that so I could drill a hole in it. And I put this clip on it. And I got that on Amazon, and it's got a little spring in it, and it'll open up. You put your line in there. And then at this end, I've got a S-hook clip. I got it in the key section at Lowe's. I think it was 10 of them for about $3 or $4. So I'll drill a 1/4 inch hole at the back, put that in on one end, drill a 1/4 inch hole just right under where the noodle goes. I put a lock nut on the back and a regular nut on the front, and I just tighten it up on it. And that's what that is. That's a planer board. And what that's going to do is I'm going to hook my line hook it through this S-hook. It'll just slide on that. And I'm going to clip it on here. Like this. You take your line, you hook it on the S-hook, just like that right there, so it slides. And you want this end coming back towards the boat, and you can clip it. It's got a little tab in there. And if you clip it on the front side of that tab towards the outside, what you can do is if you get a bite or get a hit, catch a fish on it, you can jerk it. And it'll jerk it out of this, and it'll slide down to where it'll meet where your weight's at, and you don't have to worry about that thing till you get the fish up here and get him in the net. Or you can put it behind that tab, and you can't jerk it out. You're going to have to, it's going to reel up first, and you're going to have to unclip this thing and then get your fish in. Or what you can do is you can set your line the depth that you want. If you're looking, just for instance, if the bottom is say 30 feet deep, and you're looking on your fish finder and you're seeing the fish are at 20 feet deep, and you wanting your line, you want your bait to be at 20 feet down where the fish are and not on the bottom, then you drop your line down all the way down to the bottom. And what I've done is I've looked at my rods, I've dropped it down, my weight on the ground, and I've looked at one revolution turning and see how far up it goes. Mine's about 1 foot. Every time I turn it, it's about 1 foot. So if I dropped it down 30 feet and 10 times back up, I'm around 20. You can put this on here, do the front end first, that way. You can clip it on, and then spin it a couple times. And that knot will slide up on there, and then you hook your line back here. And what will happen is that'll hold it. That planer board will hold the bait at whatever depth you've got it set. Now the reason for this is if I'm fishing out of the back of my boat, and I've got a rod rack here that has 6 rod holders on. If you watch my videos, you've seen it. But when I'm dragging baits, if I put that on a planer board on it and I release the line out where to go, what'll happen is that planer board pulls that bait out away from right behind the boat. So if you use a couple of them, whatever, however you want to do it on each side, and there's a right and a left, you have to make, you know, one for both sides. What'll happen is you get a bigger spread whenever you're trolling. Your baits are out farther away than directly right behind the boat. And I mean, that's what it's for. You're covering more area when you're trolling down through there, or drifting, or however you're doing. Or you can just put it in the river if you've anchored and your river current is pretty swift. You can do that, and it'll hold it out away from that. So that's what the planer boards do. And like I said, that's the way I've made them. It's just a $1.25 pool noodle from Dollar Tree. This little clip, I ordered a pack of them. I think there were 10. I think 10 in a pack. They equal out a little less than $2 a piece. These little clips were $4 for a 10 of them. The plastic was like $5. You get 2 out of 1. And the bolt and the nut, I don't remember what they were, probably a couple bucks for that. And that's it. Now I bought planer boards. They aren't like this. They have a little flag on them. They cost me about $40 to $45 a piece. These, I like them better. They work better. And then if I lose one, I'm not in a panic. So that's planer boards in a nutshell. Catfish Dave uses them. If you look him up on YouTube, I know that Dieter Melhorn uses them. And Hagen Grubbs, sometimes he'll use them also. So that's the planer board. Hope that helps. Oh, I silicone this. When I cut that noodle, the same as the plastic, I just slit it down the middle. I open it up and I put a silicone inside of it. I slide it down on it, and then I'll silicone just one edge of it. I haven't had any pull off, so it works good. If you like the video, hit like, and I'll keep putting out videos and using stuff, showing you things that I learn. I'm still learning every day I go. I love catfishing. I love to help people, so if I can help you, write a comment, whatever, I'll do the best that I can. This is Zeke from Fishing Buddies. Thanks so much. Bye.